Forge 103.9, a new sound. Mr. Matt Munoz, man, we have a great group with us today, huh?
Oh, beyond great.
I mean,
outstanding, fantastic, amazing.
We've been hyping up the the end of the year show,
yes,
right? And we wanted to bring we want to give a little gift to everybody on the air. So let them know who is our gift.
Un gran presente para Bakersfield. The big present for Bakersfield. We have in the studio for the first time Bakersfield's first all-female mariachi trio, Las Caliope. Un aplauso, por favor. Round of applause.
All right, so let's make this easy for the listeners. Let's start with you to my left.
Hi.
Introduce yourself for us, please.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Rosana Valadez, and I am happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
And Rosana, what instrument do you play, or what's your role in the band?
I play vihuela and guitar.
Okay, vihuela and guitar. And the vihuela is the little five string. Okay,
yes, 5-string guitar, nylon strings.
Okay, there you go. And I'll get into
make sure you say nylon.
Nylon strings.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. And then who do we have here in the center?
My name is Tagasi Valdez, and I do play the guitarrón in this beautiful trio.
Ciao!
Yep, Tagasi Valdez. Not to be confused with Valadez.
Yes.
But Valdez.
Valdez.
Yeah. Very similar, but slightly different.
And Tagasi, we're going to get to know you, and you said you played the what again? I'm sorry.
The guitarrón, which is the bass.
Me and you are going to get along, because I'll share a little longer about the guitarón. And finally, but certainly not least, who do we have here?
Hi everyone, I'm Selene Rolas.
Selena Ruelas. And so what's your role in the band?
I am the violinist. I carry the melody line for Las Caliope.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, man.
Welcome.
So Matt, you Mental Baru just had a show with them not too long ago.
Yeah.
And you said they just rocked the house.
They rocked the house. Okay, so we did the Feliz Navidad show at Tembler Brewing, and right before that, I had just kind of run across them on Facebook, and I kind of gave them this intro when we introduced the group. When they started performing, the whole place, everybody's mouth just dropped. Wow. Now, I know this group has been performing for a while here in town, but this gave them an opportunity to play in front of an audience that maybe had not seen them before.
In front of a bunch of güeros?
Yeah. Just your random Tembler attendee.
Yeah.
And they just played, and the whole place just came alive, and it was the perfect way to kick off the holiday season of shows here in Bakersfield. Yeah. Amazing.
Well, I know he was super excited, so he comes in, hey, there's this group. I had seen y'all at the CSCB game when they did the Latinx Heritage Night.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we were all there, and I was like, oh, they're cool, And he's saying, like, we got to bring them in. And we said this would be a perfect gift for the listeners. But tell us a little bit more about yourself. And I'm just going to ask a random question. You all figure out how you want to answer.
Jump in.
But how did y'all get started? What kind of pushed you all to start this group?
So what inspired me to go ahead and start Las Caliope was that basically here in town there wasn't an all-female musical ensemble.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I wanted to be part of more of a female musical ensemble. So I found Rosana. She played the only vihuela in her mariachi. And then I found Tagasi, and she played the only guitarrón in her mariachi. And I kind of just thought, like, wow, what if we just kind of just merge together, create our own ensemble, play our own music, play some English music. Growing up, I was very versatile with my music because my mother's Chicana and my father is Mexicano. So that inspired me. And, before we didn't work together, before Las Caliope.
And when did this all start? Like, is this a year ago? Is this 2 years ago?
It was like during the pandemic.
Wow, so y'all are new.
Like what month? What month?
April.
This past April?
Yeah, we started
April.
performing in April, but then we started rehearsing in January.
And speaking of performing, that's part of the present too. Is that they're gonna play some tunes for us later.
Yes.
So
we didn't bring you over here just to interview.
we're gonna bless the audience with y'all musical melodies. So, do y'all call Bakersfield or Kern County home? Where are y'all from?
I'm actually from LA.
You're from LA? Okay.
Yes, I grew up in LA, and I moved here to Bakersfield because I got married and I decided to move over here. I was playing in a female mariachi in LA.
Okay.
And so when I moved here, Selene, she reached out. She's like, hey, I have this idea. Are you interested? And right away I was like, yes, let's do it. Bakersfield doesn't have an all-female group, so I was very excited about that. So
How long ago did you move to Bakersfield?
I moved during the pandemic.
Oh wow! So
Oh, wow.
this just happened.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom.
So that's what
meant
she's
to
saying.
be.
She was like, "Oh, Rosana's in town. Like, let me call her."
And Rosana,
I
what,
didn't even know her.
wait, so how did you know of her? Like social media?
We actually did a gig years ago, a long time ago.
at
and
least 15 years ago.
yes,
so
it was a long time ago. We just in the mariachi community, we all kind of know each other sometimes because of work.
Yeah,
you know,
of each other.
yes, we know of each other
Yeah.
and stuff. So that's it. Like we didn't actually know each other, but when I moved during the pandemic, she was like, "She's my girl. Like I'm gonna call her." So I was.
Just needed a visionary.
And Rosana, what part of Los Angeles are you from?
I'm from Southgate, California.
Okay, all right, very cool. And Tagasi, so where are you from?
So I'm actually from Wasco, but in terms of
What? We got Bob Fuentes here.
no way.
Bob,
Bob
the engineer,
Fuentes,
he's off mic.
He's off mic
controlling
today.
the console.
He's usually leading the conversation, but Bob is very excited you're from Wasco.
all kinds of talent coming out of Wasco. What's
Tell us about Frosty King in Wasco.
To be honest, I've lived there my whole life, but I've only gone to Frosty King like twice.
Because he swears that it's the best burger place in all of the United States.
Hey, what about the Blue Sushi? Have you been there?
Yeah.
Oh, Blue Sushi's bomb.
Oh!
So all right. So I guess what and Selena. So where are you from? Kern County.
Born and raised in Bakersfield.
Bakersfield, all
Yes.
right. And where'd you go to high school?
I went to Ridgeview.
Ridgeview High
Wolfpack.
Nice. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, folks, we're going to be here with them all morning long, talking with them about their music. They're going to have us play some music, and we have some educators in the group. We have some folks, so we're going to get to meet the ladies a little bit more and hear more about their music, and we're going to hear some of their sound. Do not turn that dial. You're listening to Forge 103.9, a new sound. This is Real Talk. Forge 103.9, a new sound. You're listening to Real Talk. I'm here with Matt Munoz.
Hello.
We all know you miss Bob. We all know you miss Bob Fuentes, but he's in the studio. He's like, I'm gonna sit this one out because we have a lot of guests in here today.
Yeah.
So
Well, Bob's
Bob,
Wizard of Oz right now. He's behind
Bob, if you want to
curtain.
say what's up, holler at the crowd.
How's everyone going? I'm so excited to have these three women in here to do some amazing music that we got to hear at the Latinx Heritage Night, right?
Any shout out to Wasco though?
He said shout out to us. All right, so Selena, Rosana, and Tagasi. I mean, we're big fans already, but let's talk about you a little bit. So Rosana, are you a full-time mariachi, or do you have another job, or what else are you besides the mariachi? We know you're so much more than mariachis.
I love music, and yes, that's a part of me, but I'm also a teacher.
Oh, cool.
I'm an elementary teacher, and I'm also a student for Point Loma Nazarene University. I'm getting my master's right now.
Man. Wow. And you said you're an elementary school teacher?
Yes.
What grade?
5th grade.
5th grade. Okay, very cool. I remember 5th grade. I had a teacher. His name was Mr. Robin Tatchby.
At Miss Sargent, McFarland Middle School.
Miss Sargent?
Yeah, Miss
Well, Mr. Rob was a sergeant, I'll tell you that. Because homeboy, he adopted two young daughters from China.
Yeah.
And every day he was like, the Chinese are going to take us over if you don't do your homework. I mean, he was just like drilled that into our head.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's that. And Tagasi, you're the lone student, right? Well, I guess you're a student too, right? So, but you're in your undergraduate studies?
Yes, I am currently a third-year student at California State University, Bakersfield.
Yes,
So
a
CSUB,
fellow
there,
runner.
a fellow runner. Very cool.
Yes.
And so you went to Wasco High School?
Yes,
Okay, and what are you studying at CSUB?
human bio.
Human bio.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds tough.
She's gonna heal the world.
Are you looking? Do you want to do something? Do you want to do something in medicine?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Oh, okay. Any idea of what you would like to do?
I'm not quite sure, but I just know that I really like bio and I just really like the medical field. But in terms of working hands-on with patients, I feel like that's not really fit for me. But I just know that I do want to go maybe into research or just anything with medicine, as long as it's not really with patients. Just 'cause
Yeah.
What about musical therapy? Because I know that isn't that kind
Oh,
of an
actually,
area?
my freshman year of high school, that's what I was leaning towards. I did all these presentations about music therapy, and that's what I really wanted to do. But now I just really like bio. And anything science, I really enjoy it.
The healing power of the bass, because that's why she plays the bass.
Yes.
Yeah, the guitar.
That low, guitarron, that low rumble.
And you know what's cool about like medical research is that all of us have been, lives may have been saved because of medical research, the vaccine.
Yes.
I mean, that was one of the biggest breakthrough developments in, and kind of modern history. I mean, the reason why, obviously we're starting to see some regression, but like that, the reason why we're doing so much better now is because of medical research, right? So these aren't people who necessarily work with patients every single day, but taking care of a lot of people.
And we've had a doctor on the show, Dr. Miyavi from Clinica Sierra Vista, who told us about all the outreach for the vaccine outreach and everything like that, and just trying to reach out to the Latino population. So, yeah, there you go.
And so, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, research is kind of like the behind the scenes of like everything that goes on in the medical field, which is what I really enjoy.
Yeah,
wonderful.
That's awesome. Now, Selena, you stole my heart as soon as you said my mom's a Chicana, right? I think one of the things that Matt and I are always talking about is like,
Chicanismo.
Chicanismo. Like we've been trying to get more people to say the word Chicano, Chicana, and then you said it right away, and I was like, all right, we're in good company. But music your full-time gig, or is there something else you do?
Music is my full-time gig right now. I do manage gigs and stuff like that with Caliope and the events, and then I do give private lessons on the side. So in the future, I do hope to have my own studio to teach toddlers violin, le petit violiniste, and have little girls in tutus dancing and playing violin, and little boys in tuxedos playing. So that is something I have been in the works little by little. That is my dream, to have my own studio.
Yeah, it's wonderful. One of the things that happened over at Tembler when before you performed one of the classical pieces was that
Chavez?
you
favorite.
which blew us away. One of the many moments that blew us away, brought some of us almost to tears because it sounded so gorgeous.
Wow.
Was that you mentioned how your mother. So you gave a shout out to your mom,
yes,
who was there, and I met your mom, and she was so sweet, and she was
You
so
signed her hat.
I signed her hat.
You signed her
her beautiful red cowboy hat. It was
Yes.
it was amazing, and you gave her a shout out, and we were just like, oh my god, because like our moms took us to practice, when dad was at work or was too busy. It was like, Mom, I need to go to practice. Okay, come on, get in the car.
Yes.
So how was that? Tell the listeners about the importance of having a mom who supported you like that.
Oh, wow. I get very emotional about this because my mom gave me the gift of music. I tell people those are things that parents, they don't just buy and give you. Those are things that they start from when you're little, and they want you to progress, and they want to see you with your talent. And that was my hidden talent. And it was beautiful because my mom would drive 2.5 hours from Pismo to Bakersfield just for us to get our lessons and to be taught by our director, Juan Morales, which I have a lot of respect for. Because
I know Juan Morales.
Yeah, and he taught us, and very well respected teacher. And I cherish those moments. I look back now and I'm grateful for it because I'm not me without my violin. If someone were to take my violin away from me, that's breaking me. That's taking a part of me. I was 7 years old when I started, and I love it. And I try every day that I practice to get better and to grow. And I thank my mom. My mom was the inspiration for Caliope. My mom always said, "Hija, I want you to have your own mariachi." And I'm like, "Mom, I don't want my own mariachi." I didn't want too much traditional. And so I met her halfway. The dresses that we do wear comes from the classical side, and then the rebosos and the flowers come from the mariachi side. So I kind of met her halfway, and with the country, the classical, the mariachi, the cumbias, rancheras, it's a mix.
Yeah, what's your mom's name?
Carol,
Carolina
Ruelas, but she likes to go by Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, and you were also telling me that you guys spent a lot of time at the Crystal Palace because you love country music,
yes.
right?
Yes.
She sounds
I love me some Buck Owens and Merle Haggard.
Yeah. She sounds like a Chicana.
Oh yeah. My sister's Carol.
So Las Caliope, right? So how did y'all get the name? And I want to get into kind of what you all consider your theme song after that. But let's start with the name. How did that name come about?
So the name Caliope is a Greek goddess of music, song, dance, and poetry. I wasn't leaning something more to the traditional side because I wanted the trio to be different. So I went with a Greek goddess, and And, you know, these ladies are very beautiful and talented. And the name Caliope is just, that's us. We are
awesome.
Caliope.
It's a perfect name.
And I just, you know what I'm appreciating the most is that, like, if I didn't know you off the street, I may just be like, oh, cool, Las Caliope, you know, mariachi group, this and that. It's already cool that you're an all-female trio, right? But then you start to hear the kind of significance behind the name, and there's so much more to it, right? And so I'm just happy that we're able to share that with the audience here today, because I think that adds to the music, right, Matt?
Oh, yeah. Have you trademarked the name yet, by the way?
It's in process.
So if anybody's a beat biter out there,
I mean,
We have the original Las Caliope.
we're riding a waves right now, so yes, it's something that we have to get on now.
Yeah. So you have like a mixed interest in music. Now, Tagasi, where do you come in as far as like the music that you grew up listening to? Because you're the youngest, and you know they're doing some traditional stuff.
So I actually started playing music when I was 6, and my dad, he played norteño. He played a lot of like toroloche, bajo sexto, accordion. And so when I was 6, he started teaching me very slowly. He wouldn't teach me very much, but he would teach me. And I would play this really big guitar, because I started off with guitar. And then he would teach me like every now and then. And then it was up until I turned 8 is when I started getting like private lessons on guitar.
Yeah.
And then it was more mariachi based. Like we all started with mariachi, but yeah, so I was 8 when I started playing guitar. I started getting lessons, and that's when I started learning a lot about music, and I really enjoyed it. And then from there, I started teaching myself how to play violin, vihuela, guitar. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I already know how to play guitar. Guitarrón, there you go. It was guitarrón. And yeah, so just from there, like I just started loving mariachi, and then I have never done something like this, to be honest, like anything like versatile. It was just all mariachi based, which is something that was very new to me. And I was a little nervous, to be honest, just because I was so used to playing traditional mariachi music.
Yeah.
And I've always had that mariachi mentality ever since I was little, but now like my mentality is kind of like growing in terms of like how to play different types of music, the styles of different types of music. But yeah, so that's basically how I started off. All my sisters, they did play music, and my dad, he still plays music, but my mother does not play music. But
How many sisters do you have?
I have 3 older sisters.
Wow, so the whole family playing music.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
You know, we're gonna have to pay the bills, but before we pay the bills, we want y'all to introduce the next song. And why don't we introduce it, and then at the and then the next segment we can get into what it's about. But Rosanna, will you introduce the song that y'all are about to play?
Yes, definitely. I actually want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
Caliope is also known to have a beautiful voice, so that's something that Selene wanted us to, to have, because it's only 3 of us, so our voice is very important. Our harmonies are what stands out, most of the time. We always get compliments like, hey, I love your harmonies. So that's a huge compliment. So, and it's also very special to us because my sister actually wrote this song for us.
Okay.
Her name is Nadia Osorio. Shout out to my sister. And she decided to give this song to us, and it was just beautiful. Like we almost cried when we heard it. We're like, wow, this is gorgeous, beautiful, the gift of music. So, and it's called Somos Caliope, and it just kind of talks a little bit about the Greek goddess and who we are.
Well, you heard it here. This is Somos Caliope by Las Caliope on Real Talk on Forge 103.9, a new sound.
Ready. Cine, la de la bella voz. También es musa de la poesía, un alma muy feroz.
Y con las cuerdas de mi violín, quiero que vibren los corazones. Y con las cuerdas de mi violín, quiero seguir con las tradiciones. Somos Caliope, somos mujeres, y venimos a alegrar los corazones. Somos Caliope, somos mujeres, reinas de violín, vihuela y guitarrones. Somos Caliope, somos mujeres, y venimos a alegrar los corazones. Somos Caliope, somos mujeres, reinas de violín, vihuela y guitarrón. ¡Oh, yeah! Ahora vienen las notas bajas, las de mi guitarrón. Estar cantando para ustedes es una bendición.
Y a ritmo de mi rasgueo, quiero que bailen todos contentos. Y a ritmo de mi rasgueo, quiero que dejen todo
todos sus asientos. Somos Caliope, somos mujeres y venimos a alegrar los corazones. Somos Caliope, somos mujeres, reinas de Filipe huela y guitarrones. Somos Caliope, somos mujeres y venimos a alegrar los corazones. Somos Caliope, somos mujeres, reinas de Filipe huela y guitarrón.
Forge 103.9, a new sound. You're listening to Real Talk, and we got the ladies dancing in the room here. Everybody's dancing because we got the best beats, the best music, courtesy of Mr. Bob Multimedia Fuentes. I mean, this station is sounding great right now, right, Matt?
Yes, it is. Yes, this is the house of rhythm, baby.
This is the house of rhythm, and you know, Bob Fuentes behind it all. This guy is the man, the myth, the legend, and he does it all.
Bringing our ratings up.
Bringing our ratings up.
This guy.
I mean, hey, if you're a business owner listening right now's the time to get on.
Yes.
Get locked in at those low rates. You know what I mean? But anyways, hey, so we just got done listening to Somos Caliope by Las Caliope, and you mentioned Rosana that your sister was actually the one who wrote the song.
Yes, she did. When I told her about this group, she was very excited for us, and she was already planning it. You know, I didn't even know, and all of a sudden she just said, "Hey, guess what? I wrote a song for you. Check it out." And I was like, "What? Like, wow!" I was just so excited. I told Selena about it, and we were all just jumping up and down.
Jumping up and crying.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
And so that's y'all's theme song? Is that so? Do you open with that song, close with that song, or just kind of play it whenever?
I think no. We like to open. Sometimes we like to close with it. You know, it just depends. We like to kind of explore, but most of the time we do open with it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, changing the subject a little bit here. You know, I've heard you all kind of individually talk about respecting, you know, the traditions of mariachi music, right? But also kind of forging your new path. Talk to me, how does that balance that? Because that's an interesting balancing act, right? Because I know that mariachi is very kind of macho, right? Some people can call it misogynistic, right? And there's kind of all that, but y'all are kind of forging a new path. You're probably turning some heads and maybe making some people mad, right? But for good reason. So talk a little bit about that to me.
And be as candid as you would like
Yeah,
to. You're in
yeah.
a safe space with us.
So, you know, like I did say earlier that my father is from Mexico. He's the Guadalajara, Jalisco. And my mother, she is from Tulare. You know, grew up in
Tulare.
Yeah, she was born in Tulare, but she was growing up in early Mart. So growing up, you know, because where my mother and my father were from, my mom would listen to oldies.
Mm-hmm.
And then my father would listen to mariachi.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd switch back to country. And then from country, we'd listen to some CCR. And then from CCR to Jose Alfredo Jimenez.
That sounds like my backyard barbecues.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it would just, you know, our house was always playing different kinds of music. So that's why I wanted to incorporate that with Las Caliope, because there's so many beautiful songs out there, and the people of Bakersfield, it's mixed.
Yeah.
And I thought with this musical project that everyone could have a chance to hear our music.
Yeah.
Not just, the Latinos that they just want mariachi.
Yeah. Now, when you're talking, Andres was asking about like kind of like the machismo, a little bit of that kind of goes on, which, you know, it happens in all genres of music. But I think because we're all Latinos here and we kind of automatically think that, wow, you always have to kind of say the first all-female mariachi trio, which it should always just be mariachi. But it is surprising, especially here in Bakersfield, to see three women up there playing these, you know, classic tunes and all that stuff. But a little bit of that, just tell us a little bit of that world as being women, like maybe one of the only women in an all-male mariachi group.
Oh yeah.
How does that feel? What's that experience like?
I have something to
Yeah.
say.
Step on up.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys know this, but usually in mariachis, females don't really play like armonía, yes, like the guitarrón, the vihuela, the guitar. And whenever I would play in an all-male mariachi group, when I would tell them about this little project, this group. And I would say, oh yeah, to be honest, I don't think you guys are gonna get a lot of work. They would be like, yeah, because the raza here, they don't want that. But like, it's because, you know, it's Bakersfield. It's not all raza here, you know? Like there's a lot of different races here, and a lot of people, they like different types of music. So to be honest, like when they said that, it didn't really bother me. Actually, no, yeah, it did. But,
Yeah. Don't be shy. Tell
but
us.
it's just like
Tell
something
him,
that
tell him.
that like sometimes it's not a good thing, but we're kind of used to it. Like we would talk about it whenever we first got together. We would tell each other our experiences with the male groups. Like sometimes they would shut down our opinions. Sometimes, at least for me, I wouldn't really want to talk or give an opinion in the male mariachi group just because one, they saw me because I'm young, and they would be like, oh, like she doesn't really know much, she's a girl, she doesn't know much. But yeah, I mean, it sucks to say that it's kind of normal that like a girl feels like that, but it's because it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah,
like it really shouldn't.
And, I'm
changing the game.
No, yeah,
Thank you for that.
Thank you
so much.
And all I gotta say is, Raza, if you're not supporting, all female mariachi groups, then don't even show self Raza here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
like,
yeah,
and
You gotta support your daughters.
your-
I'm a father. I would never ever tell my daughter that she could not. If she says, "Hey, I want to start playing some heavy metal band," start playing some heavy metal. You
Yeah.
want to play mariachi? Go play mariachi.
You know what's so funny too, Matt, is like, my dad, obviously very smart, taught me a lot. I'm forever grateful to him. But when I think about like the strength and like kind of who the family is, it's my mom.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think we can go to people from all, like, a bunch of us people, who are raza, who are Chicanos, Chicanas, Latinos, Latinx, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of them can go back and say, like, it's our moms, it's the women. Think about the farm worker movement, right? The
Absolutely.
movement that's of the station. It was the women of the movement that were the strength.
Yeah.
of it,
And when
you
it
know what
comes
I
to
mean?
music, women inspire the most beautifully written songs.
It's true.
So the men can say that they do all this and they do all that, but without the women, the men would be nothing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean,
Beautifully said.
we don't have to get into it, but Rosanna, you played in a band and a mariachi group in Los Angeles. Did you experience similar types of kind of, I guess, is discrimination the right word, or kind of sentiments and thoughts towards you being a female?
Oh, definitely.
Okay,
Yes.
so whether you're in Bakersfield or Los Angeles, it's
Oh yeah, no. One thing that they didn't really mention, they expect us not to know. Like like they see a female and they're like, oh, she might not know, or she's not gonna be that good, But then you show up and you're like, bam, like I got this, So it's kind of nice to it actually motivates us, when they kind of like they try to put you down, but then you turn around and you just give them the opposite, but working with all female mariachi, it was a totally different experience. It was more of comfort zone. But
we talked about what song we were gonna play here after, but I think we should. Do y'all have a beautiful song maybe written by a female or by a woman that we could do instead of the song that we talked about previously? Maybe we can do that one.
Yeah, Las Mil Amores.
Las Mil Amores. Okay, and tell us about that song a little bit.
So that song does have 3 voices, which is Lucha Villa, Amalia Mendoza,
And Lola Beltran.
and Lola Beltran.
Wow.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, wow. All right, so why don't you go ahead and introduce the song, who you all are to our audience and everybody listening right now.
Hey everyone, we are Las Caliope, and we will be performing Las Mil Amores.
ciao.
Nos dicen las mil amores porque así les da la gana. Ustedes no crean, papacitos, que solo la pura fama.
Acércate, papacito, veo que tienes mucho frío. Vas a estar bien calientito dentro de los brazos míos.
Dices que quieres verme, mejor si me duele un pie. Pero si es para quererme, aunque sea cojeando, iré.
Duermas pa' soñar y ti, despiertas pa' darte a ti. Mejor ya vente conmigo, ay papá, dime que sí.
En los barandales del puente los esperamos. Y no tarden tanto, papacitos, que desesperamos. Yeah. papacitos que desesperamos.
Acércate, papacito, aquí traigo plata y oro. Sabrás siempre que te quiero, pero no cuánto te adoro.
México sí que es bonito, nadie lo puede negar. Malditos son tus ojitos que no me canso de mirar. Tu pueblo es muy bonito y este pueblo sin rigor. Sería por tanto, papito, que tiene a su alrededor. En los barandales del puente los esperamos y no tarden tanto, papacitos, que desesperamos. Nos dicen las mil amores porque así les da la gana. Ustedes no crean, papacitos, que solo la pura fama. Y en los barandales del puente los esperamos y no tarden tanto, papacitos, que desesperamos.
Sí, señor.
Forge 103.9, the new sound. You're listening to Real Talk, the best show in Kern County, right, Mr. Matt?
Yes, and this is our holiday extravaganza end of year. Isn't this?
And
This is my favorite show of the
and
year.
We have presents. I know, and I mean, we just have some great guests here. We've been learning all types of stuff. You know, it's very we're lucky enough, Matt, that we bring on guests who who inspire us, and we're like really excited about it. But I had to say, this is some of the best that we've had all year long on this show.
Yes,
and we saved it for the end.
Got to end the year with a bang. We have Las Caliope, we got Selena Ruelas, Rosana Valadez, and Tagasi Valdez. Un aplauso, because we got to keep on giving them around. We got to keep on giving them their flowers, right, Bob?
Yeah.
Bob's nodding, yes.
and y'all been blessing us with your music, and I mean, just incredible what you all can do. But I want to talk to you a little bit about mariachi music. Earlier we were talking about how mariachi music is seen as traditional, kind of very macho. But I think a lot of people, especially Americans, güeros, right? They see mariachi music as the guy with the sombrero drinking tequila, and party music and this and that. But it's so much more than that, right? I know that there's been mariachi composers who have said this is similar to symphony orchestras, right? In Selena, I've heard you talk about this, talking about classical music and kind of incorporating that. How is that how you were taught mariachi, or kind of how do you view mariachi? I'm sure you don't view it as drinking tequila and partying and stuff, because it's so much more than that, right?
Actually,
and
it's okay.
We've done gigs together.
We all like tequila too. It can't be that, but it's so much more than that, right?
Yes. Well, mariachi music comes from my grandfather. He had his own mariachi in Guadalajara, and he did play a couple times for Vicente, I was told. But that music came from my father's side, and what I learned about the music of mariachi was it's my culture. It's a part of me. It's part of our raza. And it's not just about drinking and getting drunk too, and how some people see it, but those are songs of their rancho, of their life, of their love. And to me, that's what mariachi music is. They're stories.
What about the kind of the history of the kind of the origins of the sound and everything? Are you that hardcore into it? Are you studying the history of the sound? Because there's a history of rock and roll, there's a history of this, but there's obviously a history of mariachi music. Are you that deep into it? Have you gone that far back?
Actually, no, I haven't. Just the mariachi music, I play it because of my father and my mother, and I'm more in it for the music. I'm very versatile, so it's all music.
Yeah, which is like, I think every band, every musician, they kind of always point back to their parents' record collection, what you grew up listening to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So actually, I never really listened to mariachi music growing up. Like I said, my dad played a lot of norteño, so that's all I listened to. And like I said, whenever I had started learning mariachi, that's when I started actually like listening to different types of mariachi music. And honestly, right now, that's all I listen to. Like if I'm driving, that's all I listen to, mariachi music. I'm mainly geared toward like Spanish music, but mainly towards mariachi music.
Like Spanish pop, did you listen to that, or did you listen to a lot of English music, like
more Spanish? Yeah.
You know, it's funny that you're the bass player and you grew up listening to norteño music, because norteño music and the bass, it has such a fat bass.
Yeah.
You think of like all the Tucanes songs and the Tigres songs. I mean, they just have fat booming basses, right?
Oh yeah. So why pick the bajo?
Okay, to be honest, I have the most fun playing guitarrón. I feel like I can like play around with it, kind of like in a way, like to do like add in little escalas here and there. But in terms of like, at least in the mariachi, playing violin, it's a lot harder to be able to improvise on what you want to do, just because mainly you have another partner. Same with playing guitar or vihuela. There's always going to be someone there, which is why I really enjoy playing guitarrón, because I can kind of like add in my little taste in there, you know, putting in a little extra little, I don't know how to say it.
Something.
Little something.
So guitarrón was actually the last instrument I learned how to play recently. I still want to learn how to play more, but it's my most recent instrument, which I really enjoy playing. I just feel like I have a lot of fun on guitarrón. I feel a lot more comfortable. I feel safer on the guitarón in terms of like knowing songs and everything, so that's why I love.
Yeah, and the group has to follow the bass. It's like in jazz music, they say if you're going to solo, always follow the bass player. So if the bass is tight, you lock in the bass, you follow the changes, right?
Yeah, and I do have to add that Tagasi, she is the heart of Caliope. She's our bass player, and she carries the heart.
Yeah, the guitarrón's the heart. Rosana, you know, I've heard them talk about how they had other inspirations like outside of mariachi music. Is the same true for you? Like when you're not listening to mariachi music or playing mariachi music, what's your go-to, or what do you like to listen to?
Oh man, the list. Michael Bublé. You're gonna say Michael Bublé, and they are right. I love Michael Bublé. I actually sang a duet with him in 2019.
No way.
I went to his concert and we sang a duet together.
Now, you know, I know, because this could be in the whole of the show, so I don't want to tap on this too hard. But I do know that, like, Rosana and Selena and I had a really great conversation about the history of the group and kind of their individual histories. They have a lot of other things that they could talk about, the things that they've done.
That just means they're going to have to come back.
Exactly. I said, when you're talking about, yes, they're coming back. They're going to be back.
But it's the holiday season, right? Do you have any favorite holiday traditions? I mean, I know that in a couple days I'm going to be doing tamales again. Again, for like the fourth time this year. But Rosana, any favorite holiday traditions?
Yeah, the same thing. We always eat pozole, tamales, and one of my favorite things is we always play games.
Okay.
You know, as a family, you know, Heads Up and a bunch of like cool board games and stuff.
And are you doing holidays in Los Angeles, or?
Yes,
okay.
I'll be in Los Angeles.
Okay, back in
Boyle
LA.
Heights?
Southgate.
Southgate.
Good old LA. What about you, Selena? Any favorite holiday traditions that you and your family celebrate?
I would say my favorite traditions would be tamales, of course, making cookies, gingerbread houses, looking at the Christmas lights, and I would say that's pretty much it.
Yeah. No, you know what's funny is that like everybody's following up like tamales with like also very American things, right? Which speaks to our experience, right? You know what I mean? It wasn't like just tamales, pozole, champurrado. Like, no, it was like tamales, Heads Up, gingerbread cookies. Like, I don't know, not that they don't do that in Latin American countries, but those are like very quintessential American things, you know? So that just speaks to kind of the experience that we all have here in this country. And Tagasi, what about yourself? You know, any traditions there in Wasco that are worth mentioning?
Posadas, for sure.
Oh,
I really enjoy
Okay.
participating in posadas. I think they're very beautiful. I just like it how everyone kind of gets together. They all sing along, and then once the posada's over, they just enjoy some food. And I just really enjoy participating in those.
And for those who aren't as cultured as you, what is a posada for our listeners who don't know?
So whenever you participate in a posada, it's kind of like in a neighborhood. And so there's people inside of a house and there's people outside of the house.
Yep.
So basically the people outside of the house are telling the people inside of the house to participate with them too. They're singing, there's people inside singing, and the people outside are kind of like answering to them. And then if they agree to participate, and then they just keep going, keep telling other people to join, keep telling all the houses, and then they just all enjoy the food at the end.
It's like American caroling, but like up to the 10th power, Mexican style.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the holidays, you all also have some holiday music in the playlist. So, what song are y'all gonna play for us next? I'll let whoever wants to introduce it. Agassi, they're pointing at you.
We're going to do a little medley with Jingle Bells and El Burritos Habanero.
Oh, okay.
Just to show our Spanish and English music.
Very versatile. And they have, y'all said Mariah Carey. You said you have some Johnny Cash as well. It just some
Julieta Venegas.
Some
one of my all-time favorites.
Some classical music. Just the total package here. You can get it from all different ways here with Las Caliope. So this is Jingle Bells and El Burrito Sabanero kind of melody mix-up?
Yes.
All right, you're here to hear on Real Talk on Forge 103.9, a new sound.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the hills we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, what a lot of fun to ride and sing in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Así sí.
Échale bonito. Con mi burrito sabanero voy camino de Belén. Con mi burrito sabanero voy camino de Belén.
Si me ven, voy camino de Belén. Si me ven, voy camino de Belén. Un lucerito mañanero ilumina mi sendero. Un lucerito mañanero ilumina mi sendero. Si me ven, voy camino de Belén. Si me ven, voy camino de Belén.
Con mi cuatrico voy cantando, mi burrito va trotando. Con mi cuatrico voy cantando, mi burrito va trotando.
Si me ven, voy camino de Belén. Si me ven, voy camino de Belén. Tuki, 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 ta. Apúrate mi burrito que ya vamos a llegar. Tuki, 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 ta. Apúrate mi burrito, vamos a ver a Jesús.
Forge 103.9, a new sound. You're listening to Real Talk. Matt, we've been having so much fun. Too much fun. But this is exactly what this time of year is about, right?
Absolutely.
We just had-
Tis the season.
Tis the season.
Season's greetings,
it's-
mariachi seasonings, the whole thing.
All of that. Mariachi seasonings, yeah. I think that's a new product line.
It is. We've got to trademark that. Note to self.
Matt just became the richest guy in the room. But anyways, all right. So, Rosanna, before we left, you just happened to drop a little piece of information like, I've done some stuff with Michael Bublé. And we were like, what? So tell us about that. And you said that it's famous on YouTube, or I think Agassi was saying that?
Well,
On
actually,
TikTok,
it went viral on TikTok. Yes, I think I have 2.1 million views.
Dang.
I told you, there's another.
How do you find that video?
On my TikTok.
Put the plug in. Don't be shy.
What's your handle? What's your handle?
I think it's Rosanna_ADM 915.
Okay, you heard it right there.
Okay, it was clean. It was like not something like that.
I have some jokes, but I'm gonna keep them myself. Anyways, okay. We've been talking with you all here. People are probably thinking, just tell us how to get a hold of these girls. Just tell us how to get a hold of them. So, if people want to follow you on Instagram, people want to talk to you about maybe coming and performing at one of their next parties, or want to inquire about hiring y'all, how do they do it? How do people get a hold of you all?
Well, the audience could definitely look us up on Facebook, Las Caliope, and on Instagram.
And can you spell that for those who don't know, just in case?
LASCALIOPE.
And I'll make sure Mr. Matt gets it posted up so we can share this. And so if you're listening right now, just go to our social media page. You'll see, their pages.
Links
and
links.
And that's the best way. So go to social media, and that's the best way to get a hold of you.
Yeah, and they can definitely give us a call or a text at 661-912-1224.
All right. Yep. That's perfect.
No
And
freakies, no freako calls, just strictly business. Serious inquiries only. Thank you.
Yeah. And that, that comes from another band leader. So band leader, they get it. Is there anything that, I feel like we've been asking a bunch of questions here, right? But is there anything that you all want to mention that maybe we haven't asked, or you want to give any shout outs to the family, friends, anybody listening? Right now is the time to do it, because we got a few more minutes left before Bob starts giving me the side eye.
We got more music.
And we have a little bit more music, but we'll introduce at the very end. So is there any, Rosana?
Yes, I want to give a shout out to my husband and my son. Thank you for always supporting my craziness.
And I want to give a shout out to my parents for them coming to watch us all the time, and my sisters just because they always promote us, they always share our page, and especially my sister Yadira for always coming to the chambas with us.
And I would like to give a special shout out to my mom for being the inspiration of Las Caliope, and a shout out to my daughter Sophie and my son Mateo for being great inspirations to me and pushing me as a mom.
Wow.
And I want to say thank you to all your families for supporting you to do this project, because it's amazing.
Thank you so much.
I do have one thank you I would like to give to the ladies for saying yes. After New Year's last year, they confirmed, and actually New Year's Eve was the day that I found out that Tagasi played guitarrón, and I'm like, she was the last piece to this puzzle, and she said yes, and I was like, oh my God, this is gonna happen, we're gonna do it. And I just want to tell them thank you for being a part of it.
Hey girl, don't make me cry now.
That's what I'm saying. It's getting old. No, something fell from the ceiling, dude. I was like, that's something.
Well, I mean,
Where's my Zyrtec?
I would say Rosana, our lead vocalist, she is the voice of Las Caliope, and Tagasi, our bass player, she is the heart of Las Caliope, and me myself, I am Alma. I'm the soul of Las Caliope, and together we are Las Caliope.
Wow.
Perfect name, perfect sound.
Perfect name, perfect
all
sound.
blends together.
Perfect day so far. I mean, this is just going to be, and folks, if you're listening, this is actually going to be our show next week as well.
Yes.
Because we got to take some time out for ourselves, regroup, get re-energized, refreshed.
Breaky for all the breaky.
Yeah, so if you really liked how this show went, or you want other people to tune in, tell them again next week, Friday, 10 a.m. to noon. They can hear everything they just heard today once more. So that's that's two shows. You got a little twofer here, 2 for 1.
Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited.
No,
Yeah,
thank you.
they can get their cassette and the boombox and tape it like they did in the old school.
Ama, grábeme.
So before we wrap up, y'all wanted, we asked, do y'all play any other music? And y'all mentioned y'all play some Johnny Cash.
Yes.
So what song do y'all want to play for us of Johnny Cash next?
We're gonna go ahead and do Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash. Yes. And Bob's all excited. I've never seen him smile so big on this show. But anyways, folks, you heard it here. Thank you so much for coming in. And, we're big supporters of you.
Yes.
Anytime that y'all have something you want to kind of get out of the airwaves, you have some friends and family here at Forge. And this isn't going to be the last time you're hearing from us. So hopefully you don't get too annoyed with us, because we're going to be trying to find a bunch of uses for you. And I'm sure everybody who's listening is going to be giving you all a call.
And don't get too big that you start ignoring our requests. I introduced them at Tumblr. After that response, I said, mark my words, after this year, it's going to be harder to book them, so you better catch them now.
I don't want to be saying, they think they're all bad now. Anyways, folks, you heard it here. Thanks again for listening. This is Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash, originally by that, but now being reperformed by Las Caliope. But get your last word in here, Selena.
And this song, Ring of Fire, is going to be dedicated to all the people of Bakersfield that love country music. So Las Caliope is here to serve all people of Bakersfield with their music.
Couldn't have said any better. You're listening to Real Talk. Here it is.
wild desire. I fell into a ring of fire.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down as the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down as the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. Burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down as the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
The taste of love is sweet, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire. Oh, but the fire went wild.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down as the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down as the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. And it burns, burns, burns.